What's going on in here? Holy smokes! So over the last month or so, I've been growing each of the cool season grass types here in my very own house. Now in this video, I'm going to be going through each of the cool season grass types so that you can make the right decision on the right grass seed to choose this fall. Are you ready to take your lawn game to the next level? If so, I have the Out of the Weeds Cool Season Lawn Guide. In this guide, it's going to walk you step by step through our entire season and teach you everything you need to know to have the lawn of your dreams. It's available now as a digital download. I've been wanting to do something like this for quite a while. I finally was able to convince my wife to be able to let me use one of our bathrooms to do this experiment. For us with cool season lawns, we can't really grow grass in the summer just because the temperatures are too hot. So using my bathroom and keeping it nice and cool inside and using an LED grow light, I was able to simulate the perfect conditions you need to grow grass. So how I started by doing this is I went and I bought like 1 pound seed bags of each of these individual grass types. And what I did is I wanted this experiment to all be the same. So I started with the same exact size planters, the same exact amount of soil. Then I used the same exact amount of seeds based on the seeding rate for each of these grass types. Then what I would do each and every day is I would start out by keeping them wet, and I would just spray them with literally a spray bottle. And so I would go and keep them wet several times a day. Well, once they started germinating, I would then transfer over to where I was actually then watering them about every 2 to 3 days. And so here they all are for the very first time actually being outside since I started planting them. So beginning with Perennial Ryegrass. Perennial Ryegrass is the fastest germinating cool season grass type, where you can begin to start seeing the little baby grasses after about 4 to 7 days. Perennial Ryegrass is also known as having a nice glossy dark green color and is often known as the best cool season grass to put down stripes, where you see those nice dramatic stripes out there. With Perennial Ryegrass, it is also a bunch type grass. So when we're talking about the difference of grass types, we're going to be talking about bunch type grasses and spreading grasses. So when I say bunch type, this means that Perennial Ryegrass typically does not have any spreading capabilities. Is each of the little plants that come up, they're going to get thicker and thicker and thicker, and that's going to be how it kind of fills in the gap, is just by widening out, not by actually spreading. So whenever you actually have bare spots in a Perennial Ryegrass lawn, oftentimes you're going to have to fill them in by kind of spot seeding, and you're not going to actually get it to spread. One thing that they have come up with that I've actually used in my own lawn here is Barenbrug has a regenerating Perennial Ryegrass, which will actually spread by rhizomes, which is underneath the ground, and it spreads similar to Kentucky Bluegrass. But just know, most of the mixtures you're going to get in the store are not going to be spreading. It's going to be a bunch type grass like you'll see with some of the others. A couple of the other things you're going to notice with Perennial Ryegrass is that it is not good for drought tolerance. Perennial Ryegrass is a high maintenance grass, which is going to need consistent fertilizer and watering requirements. This is not a grass where you can kind of just set it and forget it. You're going to have to maintain this grass if you want to keep it looking its best. The biggest downfall to Perennial Ryegrass as far as disease is gray leaf spot. Perennial Ryegrass is also a full sun grass. It does not love the shade. So keep that in mind with when you're trying to plant this. With Perennial Ryegrass, you're also going to most commonly see it in seed mixtures at your store. Whenever you look at a sunny mix in a store and it's going to say fast germinating, quick to germinate, any of these big keywords, chances are it has Perennial Ryegrass in there. The manufacturers love to throw some of this in a lot of these mixtures because it gives you the quick results. A lot of homeowners don't want to have to wait several weeks until they start seeing grass growing. So if they throw a little bit of Perennial Ryegrass in a seed mixture, it's going to blend in perfectly with the different grass types. One last thing to note, and one thing to keep an eye out, is this word perennial here. Sometimes in some mixes, to give you quick results, they will put annual ryegrass in mixtures. This is going to die off after 1 year. So if anything you're looking for perennial ryegrass, make sure it's perennial ryegrass and not annual ryegrass. Next, I'm going to be talking about fine fescues, and specifically creeping red fescue. Whenever we talk about our fine fescues, you're going to hear it broken down typically into two different types. You're going to hear creeping, or you're going to hear the word chewings. This word is going to make the determination on whether it is a bunch type grass or a spreading type grass. With the ones creeping, such as this, it is going to spread underground via rhizomes. If you see chewings fescue, that's going to be a fine fescue that's going to be a bunch type grass, similar to how the perennial ryegrass we just talked about. When we get into our fine fescues, the number one thing that people love about these are our shade kings. Any place that you're going to have trouble growing grass because it's underneath a tree or doesn't get that much sunlight, you're going to want to target some of these fine fescues. Fine fescue literally lives up to its name, as you can see how fine each of the grass blades are here. Now, one thing that you're going to get with this is that it's going to germinate kind of in the middle of the pack at 7 to 14 days. Also with this is you're not getting as dark of a green color. It's oftentimes going to be a lighter green. It's also going to be the least tolerant to kind of being wear and tear. This having a yard of fine fescue is not going to do great if a bunch of people trampling on it, as it will not do well in those type of conditions. As far as maintenance requirements though, fine fescues are your lowest maintenance requirement, not needing near as much consistent fertilizer or water compared to your other cool season grasses. You're going to oftentimes see these fine fescues anytime it gives you a sun and shade mix, because they do so well in the shade. Now, the biggest disease at risk with your fine fescues is going to typically be red thread. Also, because of how fine textured the grass blades are, it blends extremely well with all of the other cool season grasses. Next, we have the one and the only Kentucky Bluegrass. This is the most popular and most well-known cool season grass type, and that's for good reason. Kentucky Bluegrass is known as the deepest and darkest cool season grass, giving you some of the most stunning looking lawns that you're ever going to see. Kentucky Bluegrass is a spreading type grass that spreads aggressively via rhizomes and will be the best self-repairing cool season grass type that you're going to get because of how well it spreads. Kentucky Bluegrass is also a full sun type grass, so it will struggle in some of your more shaded areas. It is also a high maintenance grass that's going to want regular water and fertilizer requirements, but it'll repay you well if you treat it right to a stunning yard. What you'll see here is Kentucky Bluegrass is a very fine bladed grass and almost fits in perfectly with how perennial ryegrass and our creeping red fescue was, kind of falling somewhere in the middle in thickness between the two. Kentucky Bluegrass is most susceptible to summer patch and dollar spots as far as lawn disease, and Kentucky Bluegrass is also very good for wear and tear, as it does have the capabilities of recovering very well. When it comes to growing Kentucky Bluegrass from seed, this is going to be the slowest cool season grass to germinate, taking anywhere between 14 to 30 days in some cases. And so its beauty sometimes makes you wait a little bit to get there. Next, I'm going to talk about tall fescue. Now, before I get into the differences between these two, I want to give you some of the overarching characteristics of tall fescue. Tall fescue is going to fall somewhere in the medium range for germination, falling somewhere between 7 to 14 days until you start to see some of that baby grass. Tall fescue is also a bunch type grass, meaning that it's typically not going to have the capabilities of spreading. Instead, what it's going to do is get real wide, and that's going to be kind of how it starts to fill in. But most recently, if you follow this channel at all, there are some versions of tall fescue that they have started to become to where they're able to spread. Most notably that I've used here on this channel has been Barenbrug's RTF, which is literally primarily most of my lawn that you see here behind me. It's been Barenbrug's RTF that I've used the last couple years in some of my fall renovations. What that does is it gives you all the characteristics of tall fescue, but with also the capabilities of self-repairing. Now, when you talk about tall fescue, it is just going to be all around good. It can do good in the sun. It can also do pretty decent in the shade. Its maintenance requirements are a lot less than that of Perennial Ryegrass and Kentucky Bluegrass, so it isn't near as finicky when it comes to that stuff. Just kind of needing a moderate amount of water and a moderate amount of nutrients. Tall fescue grass is the perfect choice for people who do not have irrigation systems or ways of watering their lawn. Anytime I have somebody coming to me and saying, hey, I have an acre that I'm trying to get looking nice, I'm going to almost always recommend tall fescue because it just needs way less than what most of the cool season grasses are going to need. With tall fescue, the biggest thing that'll come against it is going to be brown patch that you'll typically start to see in our summer months. Now, tall fescue is also going to be excellent when it comes to wear and tear if you have any kids or dogs that are going to be running on your lawn, because it's going to be able to handle that almost better than any of the grasses. So now I want to get to the differences between these two. As you see here, this here is turf type tall fescue, and over here is Kentucky 31 tall fescue, which you'll often hear me reference in this channel. Now, as you can see right now, both of these look somewhat similar because it's still early. These are both pretty young grasses that have only been growing for about a month. But here before too long, these two grasses are going to look completely different. Have you ever looked out in your lawn and seen kind of like a big, spiky, jagged bunch of grass that's just kind of sticking up and doesn't blend in with the rest of your grasses? If you look around your neighborhood, you're going to see it probably everywhere. Well, what you're looking at is you're looking at your old school tall fescue, most commonly seen as Kentucky 31. This is going to be what you typically see planted in kind of your commercial areas, your parks, and alongside highways. And what this is going to turn into is going to turn into a really kind of light, like apple green, really coarse, thick bladed grass. But it has all those great characteristics to where it's extremely drought tolerant. It doesn't really need much to go and kind of look pretty decent. The issue that you have with this will turn much wider than any of your other cool season grasses so that it doesn't blend very well. So whenever I talk about recommending tall fescue, I'm always looking at turf type tall fescue because these are made to actually be a lot more fine bladed. Now, they're not going to be near as fine bladed as your Kentucky Bluegrass or your fine fescues, but they're going to blend much better with the rest of your cool season grasses, and it's extremely common to see in a lot of our cool season grass mixes. Kentucky 31, on the other hand, if you throw that into a lawn that has Kentucky Bluegrass and Perennial Ryegrass, it's going to look like a weed compared to it, because you're going to be out there mowing your grass, and next thing you're going to hit a patch that's like, man, what's up with this grass? Why does it look so different? Chances are it's the old school tall fescue with those really wide bladed grasses. So keep that in mind when you're looking for tall fescue. I love tall fescue and have it in my own yard, but make sure you're looking and targeting turf type tall fescue because you get all the characteristics of tall fescue grass, but with a much more compelling look than what you're going to get with your old school fescues. Lastly, I want to talk about a grass mixture. What I have here is a mixture of turf type tall fescue and Kentucky Bluegrass. And when you see the BB here, this is known as none other than Jonathan Green Black Beauty. This is actually a really popular grass that you'll see, and one that I've actually planted a lot of times in different situations. Whenever you're at the big box store, you're going to be bombarded with grass seed bags everywhere. Sunny mix, shade mix, sun and shade. You're going to see it all. And what that's typically going to mean is it's typically going to be a mix of a couple different of the grass types. You're very rarely in store going to get an all-in-one where your whole lawn is going to 100% be one grass type. For those of you out there chances are 90+% of you have a lawn that is already a mix of all the different cool season grass types, just because they play so well together and there's benefits to it. As I've talked about with each of the grass types, they all have their pluses and negatives. And so especially even when it comes to disease, they are all susceptible to different things. And so whenever you're able to kind of have a mixture, even within your own home lawn, you can get the benefits of each of the grass types. And so when one's struggling, hopefully the other one can start to pull its weight. And so that's why you can see a mix right here of how similar it looks to a lot of the different grasses I've showed today, and it's blended in together. And so if you look real closely, you can see some of the real fine bladed Kentucky Bluegrass in there, and then like almost double its width, you can see some of the tall fescue grass that's in there. Now, this is going to put together a really strong mix here where you're going to be able to get a real nice dark green color and also get some of that really good drought resistance, going to be good for foot traffic. The Kentucky Bluegrass is in there to be able to give you some spreading capabilities to fill in bare spots. The turf type tall fescue is in there to do great during the summer with its great drought resistance. And so you literally kind of get the best of both worlds with a seed mix like that. Lastly, I want to talk about some of my favorite grass seeds that I've planted over the years and get into talking about what I'm going to be doing this year in my lawn. So over the last couple years, one of my favorite grasses that I've used has been Barenbrug's RTF. It's a turf type tall fescue that has some of that spreading capabilities. RTF is the majority of my lawn that you see behind me, and I also did a big seeding job at my parents' house a few years ago, and it looks phenomenal there. Another one that I've really liked has been the Jonathan Green Black Beauty, specifically the dense shade mix. So if you're somebody out there that has some shaded areas that you've always been having problems with growing grass seed there, the dense shade mix is excellent. I used the dense shade mix to plant in an empty lot that my parents had in between two buildings that literally gets very little sunlight. And so I was able to plant it there, and it took off, and that yard has looked great year after year. Finally, the one that I'm going to be using this year is actually from Twin City Seed, and it's the Resilience 2 mix. Now, the reason why I'm switching up the type of tall fescue that I'm putting down is that while Barenbrug's RTF is known for having its ability to spread, it is not known as being that dark comparative to some of what's out there with the tall fescue grasses. Well, the Resilience 2 from Twin City Seed is known to have some of the darkest tall fescue varieties that you can possibly get. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into all the cool season grasses. So I'd like to hear, what's the grass that you're going to be seeding with in your lawn this fall? I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.